Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast, and today we're going to be talking about Immortal Desire, chapter 14, and what a chapter that was. And to be honest, it just reminded me of Wake the Dead. We did have some Wake the Dead fighting music at first and at various time in the book and this chapter, and I was remembering, so it's also like a Wednesday release like Wake the Dead, so I'd be waiting for that and then reading it, the fighting scenes. So it was a good memory of those times. It was a perfect chapter. This is what I was talking about when I read the last 3 or 4 chapters, that those were not the chapters I was hoping them to be. This is what I wanted those chapters to be. Full of action, full of twists, and what happens at the end, which I'm gonna get to at the end of this video. Oh my goodness. So let's get started. So we see that the fire in the tree lines are definitely the heart of the Crimson Beach. The tree is in danger and we will have to protect it, and we can get infiltrated by the enemy anytime, so you have to evacuate this place, evacuate Crimson Beach. So hospital is the safest place. Our mom will go there and we'll go to the school because there's an intercom through which we can announce and let people know in case of emergency that is used. So we're going to tell them that there's a fire, and if it spreads, people can get harmed and they can die soon. So we'll have to evacuate. Otherwise, we can't tell them that there's a vampire situation here. So we will go with Gabe and Cass there, and our mom will not be willing to let us go at first, but when we will let them know that this is the right thing to do, she needs to go to the hospital. She has some experience over there, and we need to go to the school. And she also has enough trust on Gabe and Cass to keep us safe. We go to the school, and when we were walking through the toward Astoria's office where the intercom is, we see a vampire hunter statue, and we think that if they were around this time, we could have borrowed some weapons from them. So then Cass smashes a window with the glass and basically grabs the suit of vampire hunter and the crossbow. In a diamond scene, you can take that. It will help you big time. To be honest, the fight of this book, this chapter, it didn't affect much whether you chose that option of outfit or crossbow or not, except for one scene the crossbow is used, I guess. But all the talismans you collected throughout the book will come in pretty handy in this chapter. So do let me know if you don't have all the talisman or just one talisman maybe. So how things go, like what happens then. For instance, so we'll get to that later. So then we're nearing Astoria's office. We hear an announcement and we see that Astoria is there and already announcing. So we get really surprised, like Astoria cares for the human population. And then we have a passing of understanding. Astoria tells that Astoria says that the Venendis are fighting the vampires creations near the tree line, and Cass should go there, but Cass says she's gonna stay right here with our main character protecting us. So Gabe goes instead of Cass, and we have a goodbye thingy, and we promise that we'll see each other again. We can kiss Gabe and have a soft romantic moment. And this is what I was talking about, like these kind of romantic scenes in between fighting and everything. It makes it totally worth it. And we also see Cass and Gabe, they have a weird understanding, we have to get back, the three of us. Cass sort of suffocates because of this intimacy and emotionalness, sentimental environment we had. So it was really amazing, the banter, how it was done. This is what I was talking about. The same old jealousy from chapter 1. It was just getting too much, and I'm glad it's no longer there as the main thing. And then Cass and our main character, we go outside. We see humans are fumbling, and some of them are not willing to listen to us to go to the hospital. They think the school will be the safest place. So though we have to basically convince them, but we'll also see that Cass is a little dwindled because Cass thinks she isn't the protector. Cass thinks that it's Gabe, she can only fight. So in a diamond scene, we will have to boost up Cass's confidence and spend an intimate moment with her also. And we'll see a child will get lost, and Cass will go there, help the child find her mom, and the kid will hug Cass, and then Cass will hug back awkwardly. So that was a pretty nice moment, showing that Cass can take care, Cass can protect people. She is a superhero, he or she, Cass. And then from there, we will go to the hospital. We will basically herd more people in, and we will take them to the hospital. We'll get them inside, and our mom will be there. We'll tell our mom to go inside while we take care of other stuff. Again, our mom will be worried, but we'll tell them that we'll be safe. But then there will be Lewin with an evil smirk and says that just in time we have herded all the humans here. So then we get to the really harsh part of this chapter, that this was not Lewin and Asturia's plan to protect the human population, but they lured them in the hospital. So because of the human intensity here, the creations can come here, taking Lewin's bait, and they can save the tree line or that thing. So I think this was really cold hearted. And what happens after all the creations come in, they attack the humans. Libby, our friend, so using all the talisman, we'll get to save Libby and all the other humans. Cass will help us. We'll see two other Clement vampires, our two friends, Fernandez, I forgot his name. He and there's another girl. So both of them with Cass together. We also, with our talisman, we're taking down, like with the poison talisman, we were poisoning them, or we just sensory talisman, we're disorienting them, or with the silver talisman, we're poisoning them or keeping them in a place, and the vampires are taking them down. So we will go around fighting, keeping the humans safe. Some will lose, some won't be lost. So we will save most of them, and we'll see different kind of creatures coming. And it reminded me of the Wake the Dead. Remember when the mutants? So the same mutant thing we have here, and different mutants come in, even from some Bloodbound book. The feral creature, we see them coming back. So they are failed creation. So the powerful creation is what we saw back in the enemy camp, but now these are the creations that got failed, and that is our assumption. And then finally we see there's a blast, and Cass takes us down undercover. So the splinters of silver don't hurt us, but all the other vampires, including the Clement people who were fighting against with us, they take the blow and they die there. And there was Lewin with the detonator in his hand, so he did this all on purpose to take the creations down, but at the cost of some vampire lives. Now here's this interesting thing. So Lewin, we thought he cares about the human beings, but he lured some humans in here, saying that it will be for the greater good. So, and ultimately we'll see that the Supreme One didn't take Lewin's bait, because all the failed creations came here, and the real creations, they went to the tree line at the school where the Venendy troop was keeping them at the bay. So basically what Shiloh did, so it doesn't make Lewin any better than Shiloh. So all the things Shiloh was saying, all this, Coven is a cap, and he did what it did to fend for himself. Like he didn't care about the vampires, Clements or Venendis, even they died or not. He was looking for the greater good, as the Supreme One was telling him that what the new world will look like. So he was going on with his own propaganda. But this Lewin is no better than Shiloh is, because he did almost more or less the same thing. So we were enraged by that, but also we say that Supreme One didn't take the bait. The main creatures aren't here. So we get back to the school building, and you see the real creations, all those creatures, those creations were there. So then we get separated from Cass, and we look for Gabe, who was in a fight with creations, and failed creation, to be honest. And then in a diamond scene, we can help Gabriella and take down some of the failed creations, and we can go to the rooftop of the school, and we can have an intimate moment of our own with Gabriella, where an understanding will pass between each other. How worried Gabriella was that if something happens with her in the fight, she will never be able to see us. Kind of the same thing that Cass told us earlier. And then we see the creation basically getting a hold of us and dropping us from the top of the roof, but Gabriella holds us, and then we see the ferocious form of Gabriella attacking the creature, the creation, and that was some form of Gabriella. And after a little bit, lingering there, we get down, we help Scott and other Venendis taking down some more creations, and we our talisman, we have a fight, and we build up some plans, and finally we see also Cass, who was under the tea fending off for herself, taking down each and every creature and creation that was coming her way, failed creation or the most powerful one. So basically, moral of the story is the fight scenes were epic, and if you had all the talisman, you would be a lot of help to the vampires. And then you'll see the one, remember, who was taking us for the trials. He would get killed by one of the creation, but we'll take revenge for the death of a vampire from the creation with our talismans. And Vanandis and Clemens, they'll fight together to defend the tree line, and then we will see at the end when we will be basically using our sensory talisman, we will demobilize the other attackers and creation. We will basically make them handicapped, literally. Then Lewin will enter with his remaining horde of Vanandis and Clements, pardon me, and then he will take rest of the remaining creatures and creations, and that will be it. So we will be hollering, we'll be enjoying our victory, which didn't last long. There was a ground shattering quake, and we just all fall to our knees and we just fall down, and then we see the Supreme One approaching, saying that this is taking just too long. And there was a blast of light which eradicates half the vampire there, and it also, I guess, hit us, and we just don't know what happens. There's a white light everywhere, so the Supreme One has come. And remember, even Lewin and Astoria, they don't have any power over Supreme One. So with all the intel we had given the Venendis, and with all the talisman power and the vampire power, we're able to keep the creations who were really, really powerful, who even Cass couldn't defeat by herself without information the first time when they attacked the hunting party. This time we kept them at bay. This time we defeated them. But when the Supreme One came, everything came crumbling down. So what would happen on the aftermath of this? 2 more chapters remaining. This is gonna be interesting. So Immortal Desire, I think 2 more chapters. Supreme One will be the villain in the next 2 chapters full-fledgedly. But if it was a 20 chapters book, 22 chapters book, you know what I mean? I'm not even asking for a book 2. I'm just asking for a book 1. Yeah, standalone, good. But at least give us like a full taste of what you're giving us. 20 chapters book, 22 chapters book, like where the story unfolds completely, because it will, like, I don't know how they're gonna give us a closure on this thing and everything that's going on with just 2 chapters of 15 minutes length. Yeah, if the final chapter was, or the last 2 chapters were like the royal finale one, 30 minutes long or something, then it would have made sense, but it just doesn't. But we're not going to focus on that now. We're going to enjoy the present, and the present says that chapter 14, probably one of the best chapters I've read in this month of September, apart from some of the chapters of Cursed Heart, which were just amazing. And that's pretty much it, I would say, about Immortal Desire chapter 14. Enjoyed it. Amazing chapter. Everything was perfect, and it leaves me waiting for chapter 15 and then chapter 16 afterwards. Let me know, guys, your thoughts, opinions, and your theories on how this is going to turn out in the next chapter, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.